All right, I'm back
Me too.
doing a movie review. Special guest Shelly in the house,
And
Alice in the house.
I was in the house.
We got to talk a little quieter. She's trying to. The dog's trying to sleep. Um, so we're going to talk about the film The Rip, which is an action thriller film. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Ever heard of them?
Yeah, they're police officers in Miami. They're in the narcotics unit, and
So basically, the setup of the movie is they're a special unit, a narcotics unit. Obviously, Miami, a lot of cartel drugs and all that kind of stuff supposed to be down there, and there's something happens at the very beginning of the movie. I don't want to give it away because I don't know what all they tell you in the previews. I don't remember.
right.
But then it's kind of like oh, okay, so now it's on, and
they do talk about this. There's a stash house. They're
right,
going
and so
to.
then they're going to a stash house, and then that's kind of where everything, and really the rest of the movie takes place, and as it happens is at this place. This one on Netflix as well, which we watched. So if you have Netflix, check that out.
Yeah.
And it only came out a couple
January 16th.
Okay, so barely 2 weeks ago.
Right.
But we'll just kind of jump into it. I like both Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, so that's a plus for me. And I just think that they both do a good job in movies. They both can do action stuff. They both have some humor that they're good at with sarcasm. Their interaction together, and it's because they're friends in real life, but their interaction together is always pretty funny.
Yeah.
So all of that helps. But then I really like this movie. I'm going to say that up front. I really like this. This one has a lot of surprises and twists and turns in it to me.
Yeah, good surprises and twists and turns.
Because when something's happening, you're like, something's about to happen, but it usually ends up not being what you guessed, and definitely being a bit of a surprise. And then there's always another one coming, and another one coming.
Yeah.
And then when you think you're going, oh, it's this guy, or oh, it's this, and then they throw something else at you that you weren't expecting.
Yeah.
So I think all of that made it very entertaining to me. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of good foreshadowing in this.
Mm-hmm.
And then as things unspool, you're like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. That minor little thing for me, that's pretty good. So with Stephen Yeun,
Glenn from The Walking Dead.
Glenn from The Walking Dead is in this.
Tell you gotta tell me what he was in before.
Yeah.
Don't give me a name.
Kyle Chandler.
Yes, what you love. He was in what was that show that we watched about the family?
He was in that one.
He was in the first couple episodes of
Mayor of Kingstown.
And
he was. You would know him probably from what is it? Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Yep, big main character in that, the coach in that. So he's been in
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines. That was it.
Which
excellent.
Really love. I wish they had done another season of that. But and then a lot of other actors that a couple of them I'm like, I've seen that guy before. I've seen this one before.
Yeah, not something that I've seen as like a main character necessarily in anything, but you recognize their face. You know how you see characters in shows and you're like, holy crap, where do I know them from?
Yeah.
Definitely people that you recognize and that you know from other things. But obviously, we'll say Matt and Ben, like I'm friends with them. Matt and Ben, they're your main characters.
Right. And again, like you said, the interaction between the two of them is good. They're partners, they're in the narcotics division. But I like that. I won't say which one of them kind of plays more of a hard ass than I guess I'm used to in a movie like this, which I really liked.
I think I'm always like, how much acting is it really? Because they're playing friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they've been friends for forever in real life. So then they're like, oh, get on this movie together and give each other a hard time and be friends. And I'm like, how hard was that of a job? You know what I mean? To go on and be friends. And again, it's so easy to buy the chemistry with the two of them because it is real.
Yeah.
You know what that's a good part.
It's also a movie that you got to be living under a rock if you don't know this movie was released, because the two of them have done about 5 billion interviews together about this movie. and which I
They
think
haven't
is
done
fun.
anything together in a while, I don't think.
No,
As far as I mean, a commercial and stuff. With
right.
the Dunkin'
Dunkin'
Kings
commercials. Yeah,
commercial.
yeah,
But I'm just saying they haven't done a lot together. And but they're famous for being famous friends and
right.
knowing each other from before they became famous, and everything. So I just really enjoyed this. I there was parts that surprised me, which I like.
Right.
I will say the one thing that always gets me, and it's not about the movie or the plot. It's one of those films it's filmed very dark.
Yeah.
And I know that's a style of cinematography, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very dark. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm watching it and I'm like, how do I turn the light up on the TV? Because the whole thing
Right.
is because they're trying to put you in the setting of it's
middle of the night. You're on an in a,
kind of a deserted
area. You don't know what's going on. And all
stuff
that
lurking around.
Literally, most of this movie is inside
this house.
They do go to another
house.
A house
that's lost power, so it makes sense that it's dark.
Yeah.
But as I get older and my eyes aren't as great as they are, I'm like, I can't hardly see this. So that's a me thing. Most people may not have a problem with that. Old lady eyes over here has a problem with that.
Yeah. So I thought it was really good. It was filmed in L.A. Scenes were also shot in New Jersey.
But not in Miami, which is where the movie
but not in
set,
in Miami. I guess you could L.A. can go for Miami.
No, those aren't the same.
Yeah, I mean they have the trees.
Oh, they have trees. Oh,
there's trees
I can
in
see
Miami.
where you could confuse them.
You're like, Miami has trees, and what else? What other place has trees? And then they're like, oh, Los Angeles. We'll just film it.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I stand corrected. That makes total sense.
You would just listen to what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But overall I liked it. It's got good scores on Rotten Tomatoes.
As if that means anything to most of us. But...
So here's a question for you.
No, I don't want a question.
Since this is always the problem for you.
Uh-oh.
The women in it.
Yeah.
There's three women in this movie.
Yeah.
Did you hate any of them? Did you not like things they were doing? Any of that?
I didn't hate any of them. And again, it's horrible because as a woman, I should not be this way, I guess, is what they tell me. I don't like a lot of women in movies because they're either way too over the top, in your face, I'm better than everybody, I'm in charge, nobody tells me what to do, or they're the complete opposite and they're always a damsel in distress and they're too dumb to fight their way out of a paper bag. And I get so frustrated with that of, you know what I mean? Like, why can't they just be, I mean, I get it. You're supposed to be a police officer and you have to be tough. And I understand that part of being tough. But when it's she's 5'3" and weighs 120 pounds and they've got her beating up, every guy in the room all by herself. Right, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not saying a woman can't be tough, but come on already, And I get frustrated. So that's why I have a lot of problems with a lot of female characters.
That one dimension, they write that as a very one-dimensional
character. And of course, they all have to be half dressed or half, and I'm like, so you went out to raid a drug house in like a crop top and skin tight pants. I mean, not in this movie, but I'm saying right. Like, that's like how a lot of the characters are portrayed.
Yeah.
Portrayed. I can't even say that word. And I get frustrated by that. So I end up going, I like the movie, but I didn't like the girl character. I get frustrated with the girl character. In these, they are a big part of the movie, not anywhere near the main character part of the movie, but they were just tough enough for the job that they had. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they also didn't fight everyone every time. They didn't, it wasn't always
they were well-rounded.
Yes.
And very well written. Two police officers and the woman who lives in the stash house itself.
Yeah, and she didn't bother me even because I'm not going to say she was the victim, but let's just say that for the sake of it. She's the one who's getting caught. She's the one who's not, I'll say this, she's the only one that's not a police officer.
Right.
Right? So she's in the house. Everybody else that's coming in is police officers. But she was okay. It wasn't, she was a big sniveling mess. But It also wasn't I swear to God, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill all of you.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? She wasn't bad one way or another. So I will say, because you're right, the female characters are always the hardest for me in any movie, but especially in an action movie or a thriller movie. Cats are fighting. But I didn't mind them. I thought they all played the role well, and it was
Right.
believable. They were tough as they needed to be, but not so over the top that it just seemed ridiculous.
Right.
And I appreciate that they made it more realistic.
Right. Besides Matt and Ben, my friends Matt and Ben, all the other characters were played their part, and they were good. There was nobody outshined anybody else, and not even my buddies Ben and Matt either. You know what I mean? They were part of the ensemble cast, and I think that's also what I liked about it. Unfortunately, you get a movie like a Tom Cruise movie where the focus is on him. Everything is him, and then there's other bit players that make him look good.
Yeah.
And I think in this movie, it was all of them combined that really made them all look good.
And I like when you have a movie that it kind of takes you in one direction, and you know it is, so you're kind of go, okay, they want me to think it's this,
right?
But I think it might be this. Ooh, but what if it's this? And it was all good because it was believable the directions that you could have gone in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so up until the very end, there was, you kind of figured it out, and then again, try not to give anything away, but there was a part where it makes you question everybody. Is this one going to be the bad guy? Is this one going to be the bad guy? Is this one going to be the bad guy? And it wasn't so obvious.
Right.
And then once you think you figure it out, you're still not sure you figured it out. And that's what you want. You want something that up until the very end makes you go, did I figure it out yet?
Right. There was a couple of spots plot-wise where I'm like, all right, they do things, and you realize later why they did them, and then you realize, okay, who's who.
Yeah.
And then the ending is kind of choreographed, a small part of it, but overall, I thought it was really good. Overall, it was a good movie. I liked it. It was a thriller. I liked it. It was dark. I liked it. It was, you don't know who's who. Other people, other cops, FBI, other people are showing up, and you don't know who's on the take. You don't know who's working for the bad guys. Who are the bad guys, and all of that. So,
yeah,
I liked it. There was a lot of tension in it, especially in the beginning, which I really liked. I liked that everybody was like, none of the characters knew what was going on, kind of thing. And I thought that was, I liked it. I was impressed with this movie.
I enjoyed it very much. I was very entertained, and it was one of those we didn't turn it off, and I was like, or well, that was disappointing, or where I'm going, well, they should have done this, or I wish they'd have done this, or this didn't make any sense.
Right.
I didn't have all of that, which
But we normally do that. We normally do that on bad movies.
Yeah.
Then we pick it apart of all the plot holes.
Siskel and Ebert, like anybody cares what our opinion is.
Right.
But here we are giving it to you.
Here we are giving it to you. Right.
Because you know what? Why wouldn't you want our opinion?
Exactly. So, do you want to give your rating?
Me first?
Go first.
Oh my goodness! Now I got to think this through. I really enjoyed it. Is there anything I would count it off for? I don't think so. I'm going to give this a 4.3.
4.3.
4.3.
That's a pretty good score.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to go 4.4.
Just because?
Just because. No, that was actually the number in my head.
All right.
I liked it. I like this. I would see these characters again.
Well, you can't see some of them again.
Well, not everybody, but you know what I'm saying. So hopefully we'll get these people. Hopefully we'll get my buddies Matt and Ben.
They don't really like you. They're my buddies.
I hate that about them. Hopefully we'll get them. We'll get them back in another movie like this together.
Yeah, it was nice to see them in something together because they it's funny in all the movies they play how very different the roles are that they play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I always associate Matt Damon with action because of when he was in The Bourne Identity.
Right.
But really a lot of his roles since then have not been a lot of action
No.
roles. He plays a lot more serious roles and everything, and he's really good at that.
Yeah.
Really good in them. And then Ben Affleck, especially lately, like with The Accountant and then The Accountant 2 and then this and everything else, he's definitely been playing more of a kind of a tougher, more bad guy, more action role. He's been getting into and a little bit darker roles and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like that. And I like that. But I like seeing them in something together. I just think it's fun because they really are friends. And I just, as friends, getting to work together and do things together, I think it comes out their natural chemistry in the roles that they play. And that just makes it that much more enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I agree. So there you go. So we would both obviously say, go watch this movie. We would go watch this movie.
She added them up. We have an 8.7.
8.7 out of a 10. That's pretty good.
That's very good, actually.
That's actually that's a very good
considering I act like I'm some professional movie critic and I'm very harsh on things, but I'm not. But I enjoyed it. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. You know why? Because we said so.
There you go. Thank you. Do yourself a favor and hit the subscribe button and watch all of my videos.
All of them.
Every single one of them. And Matt and Ben, when you watch this, you're welcome.